Episode 148. Today we are down on the farm. We bring you the latest headlines from the Pirates affiliates, recap this week's games, and sit down with Pirates first round pick, Konnor Griffin. You're listening to the Bucko Banter podcast, brought to you by the Just Baseball Media Network. Cue the music.
Rockin' 101, she compliment my taste. Whiskey in my lemonade, cause I like the way it tastes. Best seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates. Order steak by the plate, sending case after case. Run my race at my pace, clear the grass of the snake.
Welcome back to another episode of Bucko Banner. Today we are discussing all that's happening down on the farm, recapping some games, and also we're going to be joined by a reoccurring guest within the system, a big one.
One that's on a hot streak right now. Seems like he's figuring it out down there. I'm excited to talk to Konnor, have him back on the show. Before we get into it, let's talk about our partner at Rhythm. Scott, betting on baseball is hard. Betting in general can be very tricky. So let's take all the guesswork away, huh? And that's what we did when we partnered with Rhythm. No coding, no spreadsheets, just an easy to use interface that shows you what you need to make educated bets. Take the guesswork out of your MLB bets and start using Rhythm to get data-backed results. It only takes a couple winning Rhythm predictions a month for the subscription to pay for itself. Use code JUSTBASEBALL50 for 50% off a full year. Scott, you hear that? A full year. That's
deal,
all
man.
caps. It's a hell of a deal. All caps, JustBaseball50 for 50% off the entire year. That gets you access to MLB, NFL, NBA, and college hoops predictions. Try it free for 7 days and bet smarter with Rhythm. There's a lot of guys that are on a heater right now.
There are.
There's a lot of guys where we wouldn't have to use Rhythm to put bets on because it seems like it's just clockwork. Hunter Barco, Konnor Griffin. Some big names doing some big work in the system, man. I'm excited to talk about
as
these guys.
Merlin Valdez too, man. He's just like, I feel like every game he's getting hits. He's producing down in Greensboro. There's a lot of exciting guys that maybe aren't even like. Let's take the Hunter Barcos out of the conversation. Let's take the Tamar Johnsons out of the conversation. Konnor Griffin. There are some names that people aren't talking about, household names, if you will, that are producing the system that I think Pirates fans should be excited about.
Is one of those names Hunter Furtado?
Yes, son of Nelly Furtado. Ever heard of her?
Kind of a big deal. They just seem to find these arms, and that's one thing you can't fault with the Pirates is it's arms galore. Going into the year, who were the arms that we were talking about? Obviously, Bubba, Ashcraft, Burrows, Solometo, Barco, Meath.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've added a whole new list.
Carlos Castillo is a young arm in Bradenton right now, only 19, that I know Murph is really high on. I think it's a name that we should start learning. There are more. Matt Ager, Garrett McMillan, Antoine Kelly,
Hunter Furtado.
Hunter Furtado, man.
David Matoma.
David Matoma just debuted recently in the affiliate. So it's a long list, man. And I that's the least of my worries. I feel like there's guys going to be sprouting up every year. I've seen some quotes about how the Pirates have really pitched these guys on pitch design and maximizing their strengths, which I wish they would do on the offensive side. But you really got to love what you're seeing on the pitching side in this organization.
Let's talk Hunter Furtado real quick, because the numbers between 2024 for Furtado and 2025 it's a stark contrast.
Yeah.
To say the least. 2024, he had a 5.76 ERA, a 19.3% K rate, a 21.5 walk rate, and a 1.92 whip. The four seam was around 90. The sink was around 91, 92. This year, he's off to a 3.12 ERA, a 40.6% K rate. We jumped 20%.
Yeah.
And he's only walking batters at 3.1%, from 21.5 to 3.1, and a 0.69 whip. He's keeping runners off base. And then the velo is up. 94, 95 on the sink, four seam 94, 3. I think he's touched 97 this year.
On Saturday, actually, with Bradenton.
it's crazy. From AAA down, they have guys.
A little bit more on Furtado. This is a 2023 6th-round pick out of Alabama, SEC guy, lefty. Like you said, throwing noticeably harder. He's up to 94, 95 on average this year, hitting 97, like you said. He throws from a high slot, which helps him generate a lot of induced vertical break. We're going to hear that word a lot this episode, induced vertical break. His stuff plus numbers from last year are up like 10 or more. He throws a sinker, four-seam change, and slider. He's only thrown about 10 innings this year, so it's like small sample size, but you can't fake the velocity gains. You can't fake the peripherals, the vertical break numbers, the stuff plus numbers. Like it's a noticeable improvement from last year. And like Antoine Kelly, that's another name. He's a guy from Aruba who's in Greensboro for the second year, or I think he ended in Greensboro last year, but he started in Bradenton. Just names that aren't household, like Bubba Chandler or Solometo, Hunter Barco, that you should be paying attention to.
Absolutely. Real quick, tell me what this screams to you.
Okay.
Use your pitching mind here. What does this scream to you? Sinker that sits around 97, four seam around 98, and a cutter that sits 87 to 88.
Is that David Matoma?
Yeah, it is.
Because that's well, first of all, let me, because I saw this yesterday. Matoma's ridiculous, and I think that cutter is actually a slider. It's just really hard and doesn't have.
When I saw 88, I was like, a cutter at 88 compared to 98.
It's definitely a slider. It's a hard slider. 88 is hard for a slider. It'll probably get harder as he matures, but I think it's got some sharp bite to it that makes it look more like a cutter. It doesn't have that lengthy break to it. But on the StatCast or whatever system's being used at the ballpark, it's registering as a cutter. TrackMan probably. That's something he's going to have to develop more of a more spin or something with deeper break that varies off of his fastball, because while it does vary, in velocity 10 miles an hour, it's still it's registering as a cutter for a reason. It's more of a fastball right now. It's a cut fastball. It doesn't have as big of a break. Hell, Mariano Rivera was able to just work with fastballs, right? He threw a cutter and rarely a four seam, but you'd feel more comfortable if he developed something with a little bit more break and difference in viewpoint for a hitter.
Yeah, and this is just the beginning for him. His first debut in an affiliate. What is he, 5'8", 5'9"?
Yeah, he's not big. He's not big.
What I was trying to get out of you is this screams reliever.
Oh, 100%. Well, I'm hearing these numbers, these pitches. I'm like, oh, that's Matoma. I was reading about him the other day. But yeah, it's definitely a reliever. I don't think they're ever going to start him throughout the system. Maybe as an opener here and there, but I don't even he's a high-end, high-leverage reliever.
Yeah. Couple other things. The name Bubba Chandler has been growing more and more popular, obviously, because he is on the precipice of making his debut. Do you have any idea of when that's going to be? If you're going to look into the Magic 8 Ball here, I have a little bit of a prediction, but I want to hear what you think.
I think he's going to make 2 more starts. And I think he's on a pace similar to Skeens last year, maybe not making it the first week, but Skeens like May 4th or 5th last year, first week of May. I think he's going to reach a certain pitch count, 75 pitches, 5+ innings, and he's going to be up. So that looks like 2 more starts, considering the pace that he's on. So what does that give us on the schedule? I saw, I believe that a Braves series.
Yeah, I believe that brings us to a weekend Braves series at home, which would be right around the time Skeens debuted.
Yeah,
as well.
I think that's about right.
It's May 9th through 11th. Maybe he debuts on WWE night, Scott.
Is it in Pittsburgh that night?
Oh yeah. 4:05 start night. That's WWE night. We got to start planning something for that. Oh man. Not a big WWE guy.
Not a wrestling guy, man.
Neither am I.
Yeah, I think Bubba, I think that's probably the right timeline for him. It's going to be similar to Skeens, and I don't know. I'm ready for him whenever, because I know, just looking at it from the big league perspective, I'd love to see Carmen go back to the bullpen. I don't think they need to wait for Bubba to do that, but I think that also prompts Barco to move up to Indy.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens. Falter he had a really good outing against the Angels, but he hasn't been 2024 Falter for the most part to start the season.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that lower back tightness is a little bit more than we expect, and maybe he needs a 10-day rest.
He's not missing bats. He's not really been as effective as he was early on last year. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with the back of that rotation. Are they sticking with Falter and Wojcinski for a couple more starts? Getting to a point where you're going into a tough stretch here, even though they're at home this week. You got the Cubs, the Padres. They got. Well, I know the Braves started off slow. They got them in a couple weekends. Who else they got, Adam?
On the schedule, they got the Cubs, they have the Padres, and then they have St. Louis, Atlanta, the Mets, Phillies, Reds, and then the Brewers. You
don't really have like a easy series there, but no series is really easy for the Pirates. So, how much longer do you stick with those two when you have other options? I don't know. We'll see. But before we really get into the recaps and everything, or whatever other headlines you want to talk about, I want to talk about some roster moves that have happened throughout the minor leagues this week. On Monday, 2024 15th round pick out of Ole Miss, third baseman Ethan Legg and right-hand pitcher Jesus Claude was reinstated from the 7-day IL, and they were both assigned to Bradenton. So look out for those guys in Bradenton. Outfielder Andrew Patrick, who was also a late-round pick last year, 17th round out of Wright State. He was assigned to the Florida Complex League. I believe he was with Bradenton for a little bit. Struggled from what I could see with his numbers. Wednesday and Thursday, actually, Konnor Griffin saw some time in center field for the first time, giving an extended look for your Donnie De Los Santos at shortstop. I'm excited to talk with that. I'll talk about the position, the defensive versatility with him later on. Thursday, Nick Domkowski, lefty, was transferred from Altoona to Indy, while right-handed pitcher Jared Bayless was transferred from Greensboro to Altoona. These were also, moves that came after Gorski and Burrows were called up to the majors. So those were fill-in spots. And then lastly, Saturday, David Matoma was assigned to Bradenton. We'll talk about his debut here shortly, while right-handed pitcher Carlos Castillo, which I've mentioned before, was placed on the 7-day IL. And Brandon Bidwaa, who was in the Arizona Fall League this year, was in Greensboro most of last year. He started a rehab assignment with Bradenton. He's another induced vertical break guy, over the top. His guts Australian, and he's going to be a reliever. I'm assuming he'll be in Altoona by the time he's done with this rehab assignment, so we'll see. But those are all the roster moves from this past week, Adam.
Let's get into Indianapolis.
Yep.
They had the St. Paul Saints, the Twins AAA affiliate, who are currently 13-12. The headlines this week, guys that you're looking out for that could potentially make the big league roster at some point. Billy Cook, 3 for 18, 2 runs with a double RBI, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, and a stolen base. His average is sitting at 192 right now. And then Nick York has heated up a little bit. 8 for 23, 2 runs, 3 RBIs, 4 walks, 6 Ks, and a stolen base. He's raised his average to 242. Tuesday, you saw Holderman get a quote-unquote rehab start. He had 2/3, 1 earned, a K, gave up a home run, 5.4 ERA. Peggy and Hall each homered. Wednesday, Thomas Harrington had game 1, 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned, 1 walk, 4 Ks, 2 home runs. And Nick Solak, 2 for 4. His average was at 400 on Wednesday. And then game 2, Isaac Matson recorded his first save, was 1 2/3, no hits, 3 Ks. Friday, Bubba Chandler, 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. His ERA sits at a cool 1.33. Threw a fastball at 99.8 that had 22 inches of induced vertical break. Crazy at that speed and arm angle. And then Jack Sawinski, maybe he's back. 2 for 3 with a home run. His first in the year. Not just in the minor leagues. That's his first on the year. 2 RBIs, and then Nick Solak stayed hot, 3 for 4, 4th home run, and an RBI, 397 average. Saturday, Braxton Ashcraft, who we just talked about on the pod yesterday, potentially contributing as a bullpen arm. Mentioned he hasn't gotten off to the hottest start, 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned, 2 walks, 5 Ks, 2 home runs. And then Sunday, Nick Solak had a pinch hit opportunity, hitting his 5th. His average is now at 394 at the end of the week. Scott, let's go to Altoona, unless you have any notes on Indianapolis.
Yeah, no, I noticed, not that we really care about this, but most of the affiliates are performing. The Indianapolis is at 13-12. They're playing pretty well. Altoona, who was dreadful last year record-wise, is sitting at 11-10. They were in Bowie, Maryland, playing the Chesapeake Bay Sox. So it used to be the Bowie Bay Sox. They changed their name. Orioles AA affiliate. Termar has had a pretty solid start to the season. 8 for 26 this week, 6 runs, 2 homers, 2 RBIs, 3 walks, 11 Ks. His average is at 267. His K rate is still up around last year's level, but he's making more consistent contact in the zone. And I think that's mostly the improvements that you're seeing here, is that quality of contact and the consistency of that contact. Jack Brannigan, 6 for 24, 2 runs, 2 double and RBI, 4 walks, 9 Ks, and stolen base. He's at 243. Mitch Jebb got hot this week, 11 for 23, 2 runs, a double and RBI, 2 walks, 3 Ks, 4 stolen bases. He's at 297. Tuesday, the first Hunter Barco start of the week, 4 2/3, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks. The scoreless streak continues. Termar went 1 for 4 with a home run, his second of the year, an RBI. And Valentin Linares, who we saw down in Florida, man, that dude is massive.
Huge.
I thought he was Eddie Ean for a second. They're about the same size, and he's a big dude. He was also in the AFL. 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 Ks. His ERA is at 3.38. Another reliever. Wednesday, Wilbur Dotel, another improvement guy on the mound. 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks. His ERA is at 2.50 to start the season in Altoona. He was hitting 98, 99 on the fastball. Just another arm, man.
Nuts.
Not many people are talking about Wilbur Dotel. Jack Brannigan went 3 for 5 with a double and his 4th stolen base. Kevin Pichardo, in his first at bat off the IL, hit a home run. He's back with Altoona. Thursday, Mitch Jebb, 3 for 5, hit 3 stolen bases. We know he likes to run. He has 9 on the season so far. And then Friday, Taiwanese starter Po Yu Chen, another solid start, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 4 Ks. His ERA is at 3.24. Termar hit another home run, his 3rd on the season, with an RBI. Saturday, Alessandro Urcolani, 4 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, 3 home runs, 3 solo shots. His ERA is at 6.17. A slow start for my Paisan. Mitch Jebb went 3 for 4 with a double, got him over 300 on the season. And then on Sunday, Hunter Barco made his 2nd start of the week. Only 3 innings, 47 pitches, 33 for strikes, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 8 Ks. His earned run streak continues. He has not given up one yet this season in about, 20-some innings. Spencer Horwitz, he does exist, believe it or not. He made his first rehab start, led off, played first base, 1 for 2 with a walk. Look to see him maybe sooner than early June, which was the earlier reports. But Hunter Barco, I want to just mention real quick, I've said it multiple times, said it on a live show, said it on a couple previous shows. This is a future top 50 prospect in all of baseball. Not just a top prospect with the Pirates. He is performing at that level. He's made those types of improvements this year. I'm really excited about Hunter Barco.
Same, man. Same. I think the sky's the limit for Barco. Let's go to Greensboro at Bowling Green Hot Rods, the high A affiliate for the Tampa Bay Rays. Some headlines. Esmeralyn Valdez, 7 for 22, 3 runs, 2 doubles, a home run, RBI, 2 walks, and 5 Ks on the week. His average is sitting at 347. Omar Alfonso, 7 for 18, 5 runs, 3 walks, and 5 Ks. Lonnie White Jr., 4 for 19 with a run, a double, a home run, 6 RBIs, a walk, 8 strikeouts, and 2 stolen bases. And then Javier Rivas, 5 for 18, 5 runs, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, a walk, and 3 Ks. His average is at 333. Let's go to Tuesday. Antoine Kelly took the bump, 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned, 3 walks, 2 Ks. And then Esmeralyn
Rosati curse, man. Rosati was at that game.
Oh my God, Jim, what are we doing here? Ban him. Esmeralyn Valdez, 2 for 4 with his 5th home run on the year. His average was at 370 on Tuesday. Wednesday, Garrett McMillan, another arm in this system, 5 1/3, 6 hits, 1 earned, 1 walk, 2 Ks. His ERA is at 1.77 right now. And then Javier Rivas, man, 2 for 4 with 2 home runs, 6 on the year, 4 RBIs, ups his average to 355. Thursday, our man Christian Curtis, 4 innings, 3 hits, no earned, 3 walks, 3 Ks, a much better outing for Christian. And then Deuce Gorson had his first home run of the year. Friday, Konnor Griffin, 3 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned, 1 walks, 4 Ks. JP Massey, 2 2/3, 1 hit, 1 earned, 4 Ks, and gave up a home run. Lonnie White Jr. hit his 3rd home run on the year with 3 RBIs. Saturday, Hung Leng Sheng from Taiwan, 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned, 1 walk, 9 punchies, Scott.
Another Taiwanese guy, another Taiwanese starter in this system.
Crazy. Deuce Gorson went 2 for 4 with his 2nd home run on the year. And then Lonnie White Jr., 2 for 4 with a double and his 9th stolen base. I know the stolen bases was a big point of emphasis for Lonnie White Jr. this year, really using that athleticism. So good to see that he's got 9 so far and early on in the season. And then Sunday again, Antoine Kelly, 2 innings, 1 hit, no earned, 3 Ks. His ERA is at 3.18.
Real quick before I go into Bradenton, I'm really talking about Lonnie White. He really seems to be like a 3 true outcome guy. The more and more we see of him, he played more of a full season last year, more than he's played in his first 3 years, and he's been playing pretty consistently now. I'd like to see him challenged in AA eventually. I think you're going to have to. But Bradenton, they were in Lakeland playing the Flying Tigers, a single A affiliate for the Detroit Tigers. Bradenton sits at 8-13 after the week. Konnor Griffin, 8 for 23. 6 runs, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, 7 Ks, and a stolen base. He's at 270. Johnny Severino, 10 for 22, big week for him. 3 doubles, 4 RBIs, a walk, 6 Ks, and a stolen base. He's at 253. Your Donnie De Los Santos slowed down a little bit this week. 3 for 25 with a triple, 2 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. He's at 211. And Oxiel Plaz, 5 for 18, a double, a homer, 2 RBIs. He's at 300 even. Tuesday, Oxiel Plaz, 1 for 4 with a double. Wednesday, we saw the exciting young arm that I mentioned earlier, Carlos Castillo. He started 4 innings, pitched 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 walk, 1 K, 2.35 ERA to start the year. De Los Santos went 2 for 3 with a triple and his 5th stolen base, while Severino went 2 for 4 with a double. Thursday, Matt Egger, UC Santa Barbara, product of last year's draft, 3 2/3. This is 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 5 Ks. He only gave up a home run to Bryce Rayner, the other top high school prospect in last year's draft, who's drafted by the Tigers, a couple picks after Connor. Matt Egger has a 1.35 ERA. His fastball got up to 20 inches of induced vertical break, averaged around 89 miles an hour from a 6-foot release height. He's a really solid slider. I don't think he's going to blow you away, but he's got the stuff to maybe show some deception on the mound. Severino went 2 for 5 with an RBI and his 2nd stolen base. And this is where Connor got really hot the weekend. 1 for 5 with his 3rd home run, 3 RBIs. His home run was 108.1 miles an hour off the bat. Insane exit velo for a 19-year-old. Plaz went 1 for 4 with his 1st homer, 2 RBIs. Saturday, Konnor Griffin went 3 for 5 with his 4th homer of his young career, 3 RBIs, and his 11th stolen base. David Matoma debuted, earned the hold, 1 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 1 K, 28 pitches, 15 for strikes, topped out at 99.2 miles an hour. His fastball was 105 stuff plus. That's what it registered on TJ Stats report. The cutter and sinker, like I said, the cutter most likely a slider, but throws it hard and tight. It registered at 106 stuff plus. And then Sunday, Konnor Griffin 3 for 4 with 3 doubles, got the average up to 270. This weekend he went 7 for 14, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Have a weekend, Connor. Excited to talk about that with him. This Bradenton team, although the record's 8-13, not that we really care about records at the affiliate level, has got some exciting young talent.
Yeah, I think you like to see the guys compete, right? Yeah. Winning organizations establish winners right when you walk in, right? So whether that's at the complex or in AAA, by the time you get to the big league club, if you ever do, you have a history of winning, of wanting to win, right? So I think to some degree it is important. It really isn't, but like the mentality side of it, I think rings true. Scott, before we take a break, let's announce our minor league player of the week. You want to run us by this one?
Yeah, I think there's a couple options, but we're going to go with Hunter Barco, man. 2 starts this week, 7 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs. His earned run streak continues. 2 walks and 16 Ks in those 2 starts. He's been flawless, man. We really want to highlight Hunter Barco. Excited to see what he can do for the rest of the season.
Awesome. Had to be him.
Had to be, for
Had
sure.
to be. Let's take a break here, Scott, and then we will be back with Pirates' first-round pick and current Bradenton Marauder, Konnor Griffin. Joining us now is Pirates' first-round pick, current Bradenton Marauder, and repeat guest of the show, Konnor Griffin. Welcome back, Konnor.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Konnor, welcome back, man. It was a couple months ago we had you on, but now you've reported to Bradenton. You got some big league camp time. You have about a month with the low A team in Bradenton. How has that first month treated you in Bradenton on and off the field?
Yeah, it's been good. So I've really learned how to, the grind of minor league baseball, playing 5-6 games a week, and just really learning how to take care of myself. But it's been a really good start. We have a really good team, a lot of young players, and we're playing pretty well right now, and just enjoying it. It's been good so far.
What has been the biggest adjustment? I know we talked to you back in January, and then you had camp, like Scott just mentioned, and now you got some in-game action. Has it been the off the field, day-to-day, keep taking care of your body, or is there something on the field that's been a big adjustment in pro ball?
I would just say taking care of your body. I mean, every single day after the game, trying to do recovery before the game, getting your body right. It's just you just got to take care of yourself. Playing so many games, and in high school, I would play like 3 games a week, so I kind of had a few off days during the week. But now it's just like bang, bang, bang. So just taking care of myself has been big, and once I do that, I feel at my best on the field.
Last time we talked, you backing it up a little bit, you were just about to report to camp. You're invited to big league camp. What were your first impressions going into that clubhouse, being amongst the big leaguers, sharing the field with them? What was that like?
Yeah, I really didn't know what to expect. I was super excited, super thankful for the invite to go to big league camp. But once I got there, everybody was great. All the players, they took me under their wing, and coaches were great. I feel like I learned so much during camp, just how to be a big leaguer, how, the routines, how to go about yourself. And I really think it prepared me more than ever for this first year of pro ball. Like I knew what to expect. I knew, the standards, and it was all really good. And hopefully I get another invite next year. But, like I said, I feel like it's really prepared me for this upcoming season, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Konnor, a big story this offseason with you was the swing adjustments. And we talked about it before on the show and breaking it down of a lot of people doubted your ability at the plate when you got drafted. And you were vocal about that, trying to prove everybody wrong. And you made a ton of adjustments, and we've seen it paying off. How is that translated to on the field? Because one thing that we talked about with you was seeing you with a one-handed finish compared to the two-hand. And then in games now, it seems like you've gone back to the two-hand finish and the swing. So was that more of just a mechanical adjustment, a feel thing in the operation? And then in game, it's just, hey, let's let it rip, and the approach is the same?
Yeah, I mean, I've made a lot of hitting adjustments through big league camp, through the first few weeks of the season. Like every day, you're trying to figure out something new. With the two-hand finish, like I think it just depends on the pitch location. I think I'll do a one-handed finish sometimes on different pitches and two-hand on others. So I don't really think about that much right now. But all the hitting adjustments have been good. I've been able to watch film, and the biggest thing is one, being on time for me. Just making sure I'm on time for the heater, and you're not missing the strikes, because you get a good pitch to hit, and in an AB it might be the only one you get. So just trying to do damage on those type of pitches. And then another 2 things for me is just my intent. How hard I'm swinging, just trying to keep my intent like at a 7 or 8 out of 10, not being 100%, just full swing. And then my direction to center field, just keeping good direction, being able to stay on sliders, kind of down and away, change ups, down and in. So those are three things for me. Direction, intent, and then watching some film, just making adjustments as the games go on.
Let's go to the other side of the ball, Konnor. You've been playing shortstop mostly. I think this week you played center field 2 days in a row, while De Los Santos played some shortstop. What has that adjustment been like? I know you were mostly an outfielder probably in high school. Playing both positions, has that been an adjustment going from prep ball to pro ball? And also, like, how different is it? Is the pace of play a lot faster? How do you prepare for each game between the two positions?
Yeah, so I've played a lot of shortstop to start the season, and then played center field this past week. It's really the same to me. I just think go out there and be an athlete. Center field, I feel like, comes more natural. So I'm able to get out there, kind of feel at home, and just go track down fly balls. At short, I've really had to put in a lot of work. It's just you got to be so fundamentally sound. So I've been doing a lot of early work, and just trying to get my game at short, where I look natural, look like I can handle it at the pro level, which I feel like it's really coming along. I feel like I've got really comfortable there, and so definitely putting a lot of work in at short. Outfield, I haven't been doing much outfield, and then this past week they're like, "Hey, you're going to play the whole week in outfield." So, and I just went out there and did it. But back at short this week, so tonight I'll be playing short. So just kind of going back and forth. I think working hard at short, working hard at short only helps me in the outfield, with feet work, hand-eye coordination. So I can get a lot of work done at short, and it translates to the outfield.
Going back to the plate real quick, do you think right now you're hitting the ball harder than ever? Is that a result of the intent and direction, keeping the hands like up the middle and away and just barreling balls? Yeah.
I think I've hit some balls that I've never hit them that hard, especially in game. But the guys are throwing mid to upper 90s, and if you just get a barrel on it, like it's gonna fly. So I just try to be on time for the heaters, and have good direction through center field, and the balls are jumping. So it's been good so far.
Specifically this weekend, man, I think you were like 7 for 14 the last 3 games this weekend. You got off to a hot start, but is it the repetition? Is seeing more pitches, seeing more live at bats, has that helped you, get into a groove here?
Yeah, I would say so. First part of the season kind of up and down. Had some really good games. There's some tough games in there as well, but just seeing pitching, like seeing the different arm slots and different sinkers, fastballs, like all of it. I just, you need experience, and that's why I feel like it's good to be here in Bradenton, just getting a lot of experience, seeing a lot of arms, and but yeah, I'm definitely starting to feel more comfortable. But it's a day by day battle. You go into the game and you don't know what to expect, because you don't know who you're going to be facing, and you just go ready to compete and try to be a tough out. So I think that's helped me a lot.
The most impressive at bat that I saw in Lakeland, at least this past week, was the ball that you turned on over left field for the homer. More specifically, because a lot of the hits that we've seen so far and the home runs have been to like the right center gap and staying that way, as you've mentioned. Is that just more of a reaction thing? Like, hey, we're looking like middle away, keep the hands, and then like it's just natural reaction to turn on a ball like that and keep the hands inside?
Yeah. Like early in the spring, I was really good at kind of getting extended and going the other way. But like middle end pitches, I would still try to get extended, and I wouldn't have the results to left field like I were to right. I was hitting a lot of ground balls just because I wasn't hitting them on the barrel. So we've been working a lot on, staying tight, staying connected with the back elbow, and a lot of those swings, like, I look really tight, and then the barrel is able to come through, and, we can attack those inside pitches and hit them in the air. So I saw a lot of good results this past week with just being tight and connected, and just going to take it and try to keep building on it this week. So I saw a lot of good results from it.
Love that. Sounds like I think you've answered this question here and there throughout these last 10 minutes. But, it sounds like you take the same approach every game defensively, no matter where you're playing shortstop or outfield. But what would you say has been the biggest adjustment for you? Is it pitch velocity? Is it off-speed recognition? Is it pace of play? Or is it something completely different?
Yeah, I would just say probably the biggest adjustment for me is just, seeing different pitches like I've never seen before. A lot of the sliders are, more tighter, harder than, what high school is. A lot of guys throw right on right changeups, some splits. So just trying to adjust to that type of pitching and trying to, stay in my zone. A lot of times I'm trying to see pitchers up, try to get them up because, you start moving your eyes down, then you're going to start chasing down. So that's probably the biggest thing for me, just trying to get pitches in my zone and attack those.
Konnor, before we let you go here, I know you've been around a lot of talent so far, from big league camp to now, and your teammates. Specifically in Bradenton, has there been a guy that you've played with so far that their ability or their talent on the field has really impressed you?
Yeah, we got a lot of really good players, a lot of young guys. Derek Berg, one of our catchers, he's been swinging it like crazy, has really good ABs. Johnny Severino, he's really good. He's not going to miss a fastball. Yordani De Los Santos has made some really good plays at short. Like there's a lot of good players. Axial Plies is hitting the crap out of it right now. So there's a lot of really good young players that are making their way, and they're going to be really good players in the next few years.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you coming back on, Konnor. I'm excited to continue watching Marauder games. I feel like you said, you guys have a lot of young talent, and I'm excited to see what you guys do in the weeks ahead. But best of luck to you, and keep killing it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate y'all having me on. It's always a good time.
Best seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates, or the steak by the plates. And